I'm just not comfortable with this merger idea.
Why not?
I just don't think the economy's right for it.
You're not taking into consideration the third quarter projections. I mean, if you think about that, the trend's been moving up
Corporate
for 4 months.
bigwigs
The profit
will
margin's
not
gonna
be seen tonight,
It has been
so that
trending
we
up
can
over
bring
the
you
years.
the
Not sure that's the
following
kind of thing we need
episode
to
of Almost Live. It's Almost Live versus the Workplace. With me, Pat Cashman, Tracy Conway, Bob Nelson, Bill Stainton, Nancy Guppy, Steve Wilson, and Ed Wyatt. And starring John Keister. And tonight, you'll see just how the Middle Management Suckups handle a crisis situation. New ways to get exactly what you want out of your job. And Mr. Billy Quan will give you tips on office etiquette. So take the night off as we get to work and bring you Almost Live versus the Workplace. And now, here's your host, John Keister.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Welcome to Almost Live versus the Workplace, which I think that's a very good title because everybody fights the workplace. Everybody bends the rules a little bit. You know, a few long-distance phone calls here, Xeroxing the party invitations there, using the company van to move your furniture, an extra donut or two from the cafeteria, getting into the accountant's computer and writing up some extra paychecks, little things like that. Everyone knows the limit, see, the thing is, except for a few bad apples that give employee stealing a bad name. You know? You ever work with people, they make all sorts of problems like that. It makes you wonder, it makes you think that someone in personnel probably advertised, help wanted, experienced whiner needed. You know? Must be willing to gossip and create turmoil, references required. Yeah. It seems like that there's all sorts of problem employees that most of us have to deal with every day. Now, see if any of this looks familiar.
Great talk at the meeting this morning, Mr. Johnson. You got us all fired up.
Well, this, of course, is the kiss ass, you know. And I know you want to know how to deal with this. Since he'll pander to the boss's every whim, you tell him that the boss has been hinting strongly that he wants a stripper to show up on his birthday.
Did you check with Hamilton on this?
We've never done it this way before.
I really think you need to go through Hamilton.
You know, we have these procedures for a reason.
Yes, Mr. and Mrs. Sticks up their butts. You know, the whole deal with them is they're trying to get revenge for all the times they were laughed at in the junior high shower room. Just tell them that the expense report form is going to be revised and their heads will explode.
Bill, don't forget that 11:30 meeting. Lou, I cannot make lunch today. How about 1 o'clock tomorrow? That'd be good. Hey, guy, how's it going? Good to see you again. Jenny, did you get those legal files done? George, how's that new baby? Getting any sleep at night? Hey, Bill!
Well, that's Mr. Perpetual Motion. The thing is, you don't really need to do anything to this guy because he's going to eventually impale himself on a mail cart while whipping around a corner. What, the light bulb burned out? That's so typical. This place is so messed up. The perennial bitcher, you know. Yeah, they're all here. Just do what every company does. Put them in charge of customer complaints.
Hi, Steve. Are you going to the big bowling and pizza party on Friday night? For $12, you get to bowl 3 games, you get 3 pieces of pizza, and you get to have any pop that you want. Come on, it'll be so much fun. Everyone's going. It'll be fun.
Oh, boy, the office cheerleader. Well, you can keep her subdued up to 1 full day by telling her that Lassie died.
Do you have any letters or anything to go out today?
The mailroom space cadet. No problem. You can keep him away from your desk by hanging a sign that says, "Kill Jerry Garcia." That's all you need to do.
Hey, what are you doing next Tuesday night?
Okay, the Amway Tupperware real estate guy. The thing to do is always keep a couple Jehovah's Witness things in your desk ready to counterattack. See? So you see, no, it's okay. The workplace, it can be a scary place, granted, if you're not used to it, but it can also be a very dangerous place. You don't believe me? Just watch.
All right, here, Mr. Fredrickson. I see that you worked at Hoskins and Dixon for a couple of years. What'd you do there?
I was head of PR for 2 years.
Very impressive. Well, I think everything seems to be in order there. There's just one more thing I wanted to... You're fast.
Thank you.
How's that trigger finger of yours?
Itchy. Real itchy.
Good. Can you start Monday?
How about today?
Why not today? Let me show you to your office. You lead the way.
On my way around, why don't you lead?
No, you lead. I'll be right behind you.
I'm real comfortable with that.
This is Danger Office.
I need to borrow some Post-its.
Oh, let me look. I may have some. I'm out too.
Damn.
Want to go to the supply room?
Yeah, I'll cover you.
Okay, let's go.
Hey, Steve, have you seen the first quarter projections? They're not in the file.
I think marketing's got them.
Marketing?
Yeah.
Marketing. Son of a... Get him! All right, take him to the door. Go get him! All right, guys? We lost Jenkins. Look, he's hurt real bad. Those sons of bitches in marketing have a tank! What the hell good is this against a tank?
These guys in marketing get everything.
Oh, thanks.
Can I borrow your pen? Oh, it's okay. I got a pencil.
So what do you guys want to have lunch? We're gonna Dukes?
Great.
Yeah.
Dukes is great.
Sounds fun.
No, not Dukes. Come on, El Torito. I got a coupon.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Danger Office, where your first day could be your last. Almost Live versus the Workplace is going for a coffee break now, but we'll be back.
Thanks very much for the interview. And all of my references are on the resume there.
Thanks for coming in, Bob. I enjoyed talking with you.
New on NBC.
Your resume is very impressive. But as you must know, like most law firms right now, we just don't need another lawyer. I'm sorry.
He was a victim of supply and demand. But now, he's one of the new breed of lawyers who are taking the law into their own hands and into the streets. They're the Streetwalking Lawyers of Aurora Avenue. There's nothing they won't do to get a case.
Oh, yeah.
Hi.
Now, you look like you could use a friend.
What are you charging?
Depends on what you need.
Uncontested divorce.
I can do that. For $50, I'll give you a consultation drive around the block. For $250, I'll stay up all night with you and do the paperwork.
Sounds fair to me.
Great. Hey, how about my friend here?
Hi.
Hi.
Ever wonder what it would be like with 2 lawyers?
Sure. Why not? It is.
Yes, they're sleazy, and they're lawyers, and NBC's got them. The Streetwalking Lawyers of Aurora Avenue.
Hi, I'm Bill, one of the cast members on Almost Live. And during the course of tonight's show about the workplace, we're going to show you some of the places where we worked before we joined the staff of Almost Live. I managed a tuxedo store for 2 years, and, you know, I think probably the most exciting part of the entire job was going through the used tuxedo pants pockets the morning after prom night. See, you never knew what you were going to find there. Used condoms, garters, all kinds of things. That's why any reputable tuxedo shop is going to have a healthy supply of these sterile surgical rubber gloves on hand. You got to use them. Now, I was the manager of the tux shop, and that means that I was the one responsible for all those important tuxedo-type decisions. Yeah, decision-making. That's something these next guys don't know anything about.
They're the people who really run this country.
Hey, you guys, I got this great accounts receivable joke. See, there's a secretary.
You work with them every day.
Great memo, Mr. Deppa.
And now, they're the hit of the TV season.
Oh, there you are. Yeah, look, we need to take a meeting.
Yeah, maybe after break.
Oh, I'm getting another call. Can you hold? Yeah.
They're the ineffectual Middle Management Suckups. Tonight, on the ineffectual Middle Management Suckups.
Steve, will you please shut the window? Thank you. Okay, team. Top management says they want a solution to the employees' strike by today. They want it solved quickly before things turn violent. Anybody have any ideas? Bill.
Okay, I just don't think we need to take these threats of violence seriously. These people out there, they don't want to hurt us. These are good people. They just want to be loved. That's why I've come up with these praise cards, see? Every time an employee does a good job, then you give him or her one of these praise cards. Praise cards, see?
Bill?
Hey, don't interrupt him. Remember your verbal manners workshop?
Look, there's a rock with a note on it.
Let me see.
What's it say?
Let me see. Dear ineffectual middle management suck-ups, we want a good contract now. We've just rolled one of your BMWs. The Saab 9000 is next, and then we come after you.
Ooh, Saab. Hey, that's a great car. Who owns that car?
I just got it on Tuesday.
Oh.
It's got turbo.
Oh.
How does it handle?
Oh, it's wonderful.
Man.
Yeah. I think he might be hurt here.
Bob, let's stay on task, okay? I think the time is right for brainstorming, everybody. Brainstorming, right?
Brainstorm.
Let's think ideas. Let's end the strike. Any ideas on that? Ed?
We need to set target parameters for employee input on birthday parties.
And we need to ratchet up the benefits package and the coffee pot cleanup negotiations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's push the envelope some and get them some cloth towels in the employee washrooms.
Great idea.
Free pony rides, maybe.
I really think you need some medical attention.
Say, Bill, does that pony ride idea include the management, or is that just for the workers?
Yeah.
Well, now, these are all really good ideas. I've got them all down here, and I'm going to make copies for everybody.
The copy machine is broken.
What, again?
Again.
Oh.
How am I going to disseminate information?
I have an idea. Look, we all have fax machines, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's easy then. You fax the information to me, I'll fax it to Ed, Ed, you can fax it to Tracy, and what we'll do is we'll build a fax tree.
That's a great idea. Great. Good job, Bill. Good job.
Next week on the ineffectual Middle Management Suckup.
This one's from the strike leader. It says 2 more hours without a contract, and they're going to torch the place.
2 hours. That gives us just enough time for lunch?
Yeah.
Who's for Chinese?
Hey, I'm in.
Almost Live versus the Workplace has to go see the boss right now, but we'll be back in 2 minutes. Promotional consideration for Almost Live provided by Ballard Computer in Seattle, Kirkland, and now open in Tacoma.
Hey, there's a new guy in accounting, and I hear he's single.
Oh. Really?
Almost Live Training Films presents Going to Lunch at the Office. Part 1, Getting Started. The leader starts the process.
It's almost time for lunch. Want to go out to lunch?
Hey, you guys going to lunch?
Part 2, Ditch the Doofus.
No, actually,
I'll catch on the fly.
Delay number 1, one more phone call.
Okay, everybody's here. Let's go. Okay. Just one phone call. One phone call.
I gotta floss my teeth.
Then I gotta run to the bathroom real quick.
I have time for a back.
I gotta get my wallet now.
Delay number 2, Mr. Picky.
Okay, now can we go?
Okay, where?
Mexican.
No, I had it yesterday.
Thai food?
No, I had that last
Burgers
week.
down the street.
No, I had that 2 months ago. No.
There you are. Hey, wait up.
Part 3, Ordering Strategies.
And the bread? The ravioli and the bread?
What are you gonna have? Do you want to split the fries?
Yeah, okay, if I can have your tartar.
Yeah, you can have my tartar, but why don't you order the fries, because I think it's free with your company. Tom, what are you having?
I had dinner here before. The lasagna is great.
Great, but I don't want that much. You want to split it?
Yeah, I'd
okay,
love to.
great. And is there salad with that?
But you know, maybe we should get a side salad.
Side salad? Okay, but no dressing on the salad on the side.
That's fine.
Okay, great. That
That'd be
sounds good.
great.
Okay, perfect.
What are you having? Maybe we can get extra.
I'll get the big
fries, and you give them the...
If we get the ravioli, we get the soup and the bread.
The soup? What kind of soup is that? Du jour. What kind of soup is that? What's a du jour?
Anybody else want fries?
Part 4, The Vegetarian Gets Chef. Part 5, Paying the Bill.
Well, let's just split it even, 8 ways.
No, I didn't have a drink.
No, split it even.
No,
It's
we
easier.
split in order, so that's
it's
not
okay.
fair.
No. Yeah, Nancy and I split, and then this covers my drink too.
Well, this takes care of me plus. Okay.
Well, I'm not paying more than $2 per carrot. I don't care what they charge.
Mine was Kendall. Bill, I covered you last week, remember?
Well,
and so
Let's
you
just
got
do it.
the rest,
Okay, that
right?
should be it. That should be good. That's good.
We're $40 short.
Well, someone didn't pay.
That's why I told you we should split it even. You've got to split it even. I told you that. Part 6, Separate Checks. Part 7, Back to Work.
Hey, you guys have lunch yet? You guys want to go get some lunch?
Later.
Lunch?
This has been a successful lunch at the office.
I'm kind of hungry.
When I was 18 years old, I came down here and I got a job at Boeing Field cleaning airplanes. And the initiation for the new guy on the crew was to clear the restroom holding tanks. And to do that, you had to hook up a big hose to this hatch that was on the bottom of the plane. And you'd unscrew this hatch. You'd try to do a really good job. You go, and you'd open it up and right in your face. There's always a little bit of stuff right on your face. And at that moment, I thought, I have the worst job in the world. There's no one in the world has a worse job than I do at this moment. But you know, that's always so relative. You always think that everybody else's job is easier than yours. We want to put that in perspective for you. For example, easy, barber. Hard, Ted Koppel's barber. Easy, Amway salesman. Hard, Amway salesman's relatives. Right. Easy, disc jockey. Hard, good disc jockey. Okay. Easy, urologist. Hard, urologist's janitor. Ooh, yeah, very hard. Easy, Arsenio Hall's job. Hard, watching Arsenio Hall do his job. Well, I hope that clears everything up for you. And you know, these days companies are trying a lot of new innovative programs and ideas to make their employees work together as a team. And we found a truly innovative program.
Trendsetters, the show about people on the cutting edge. The really hip, the cool people out there, doing things that you'll never have the guts to do, even if you live to be 100. So you just sit there on your fat butt and watch the world go by on Trendsetters. Tonight on Trendsetters. In today's high-stakes world of big business, America's winning companies are keeping their competitive edge with a bold new innovation. Corporate dodgeball. Yes, corporate dodgeball. A trend that is sweeping the nation.
I love the sound it makes when it hits someone right in the head or like in the middle of the back. It's like, yes, it's so perfect.
You know, the great thing about this game is that everybody can have a good time, and it really doesn't matter just because I'm the boss. I just like being one of the guys. Ow! Oh, that hurt! You clean out your desk. You're out of here. How do you like it? From the boardroom to the mailroom, the word is out. Better balls mean better business.
I think dodgeball has actually brought us together as a team and allowed us to focus on our goals. Plus, I hate Jenkins in accounting, and I nailed him today. Oh, boy, did I get him.
Yes, business today is following the bouncing ball. Next week on Trendsetters, lunch break leapfrog. Almost Live versus the Workplace is punching out for a couple of minutes, but we're coming right back.
Hi, Kathleen.
Oh, hi, Bill.
Got a busy morning. How about you?
Yeah, me too.
You know, I love the public, and that's why I worked for 5 years in the Nordstrom credit office. Now, my favorite phone call I ever got was from a woman who bought something in Bellevue Square where tax was 8.1%, and she returned it at the downtown Seattle store where the tax was 7.9%. So she was calling because she wanted the full tax refund on her account. So I said, well, how much money are we talking about here? And she said, 2 cents. I said, oh, so you're calling me because you want me to credit your account for 2 pennies? And she said, yeah, that's right. So I did it. It was Nordstrom's. I had to. But here's a guy who doesn't have to be so nice.
Hi, I'm Daryl, and I work at the counter of the Driver's License Renewal Department. I'm sure many of you, as you've waited for your licenses, have thought, gee, what a complex and interesting person that is behind the counter. I wonder what he's so pissed off about. Well, now you can find out with my new special phone number. Call 1-MISERABLE-SOB. If you think I'm unpleasant at work, you should hear me when I get out of the public eye. Wow. Here are a couple of examples of the types of questions I'm usually asked.
It's weird. You know, I'm the one who waits in line for an hour, and then when I get to the counter, you're the one who acts put out. How come?
That's because I hate you and all of your kind. Thanks for your question.
You know, I'm guessing that underneath that gruff exterior of yours, you're really just a softie with a heart of gold.
Funny you should mention hearts. Remember when you said you'd rather not be an organ donor?
Yeah.
Well, I changed that to yes.
You can't do that.
Like hell, I do it to everybody. Now, I know many of you are jealous of me. You're thinking, if I acted that way at work, they'd ash can my butt before lunchtime. So how do I get away with it? Well, my boss and my coworkers are even bigger SOBs than I am. Around the office, they call me Mr. Perky. So call me. I'll tell you about my world and what a living hell it is. Dial 1-MISERABLE-SOB. Now get out of here. Next!
I'm not really that mean and grumpy. In fact, before I started working for Almost Live, I was an English teacher in a private Catholic high school. I lectured on Dickens and wore a lot of these sweater vests, but I think my real strength was building character in students, providing them with a positive role model, and teaching them not to make fools of themselves in public. Keeping that in mind, here's a piece where I wear a bandana and act really spacey.
Tonight, we have taken two relatively normal women, matched them up with three very special guys, sent them out on a date, and brought them all back here to go over all the details. Tonight, let's get started. Good evening and welcome to Studs from Microsoft. All right, first let's meet our lucky ladies. Carolyn here is a marketing assistant from Olympia who likes water skiing and looking at pictures of Alec Baldwin. Hi there, Carolyn.
Hi.
And next to her is Darlene, a licensed practical nurse who says she likes to help people. Well, Darlene, you came to the right place. Now, let's meet our studs. Here he is, Lars. Lars is a systems manager. His hobby is cheese, and he's never seen a woman naked before. How about after those 2 dates, Lars? Still not, huh? This is Wally. Wally designs icons for spreadsheet programs. But every June, he takes the month off to be a roadie for the Grateful Dead. And now meet Tyrone. He's a programmer, works 16 hours a day, likes to unwind by memorizing the batting averages of all the players in the Japanese Baseball League. Quick quiz for you, Tyrone. Hiro Watanabe.
325.
Wow. Wow. What a group of studs. Well, ladies, how did you enjoy your dates?
Well, it was interesting. I've never seen the inside of a Chuck E. Cheese before.
They don't know where we live, do they? I mean, they don't have our addresses or phone numbers or anything about us at all?
Okay, let's begin. Studs, I'm going to ask you some questions, and when you answer correctly, you get a floppy disk.
What format?
I warned you, Tyrone. Now, let's start with the Lars over here. Now, I'll read you 3 quotes about your date with Carolyn, and then you pick the one that you think she actually said, Lars. 1, his hand was up my dress before we were out the door. 2, he's got a rocket in his pocket. 3, I put up with the Cheetos and the Diet Cherry Coke, as well as the endless Steve Martin imitations, but when he insisted on stopping by the hobby shop to play with the model airplanes, that was it. Lars, what do you think?
Well, I guess 3.
That's right, Lars. Here's your disc, buddy. Okay, now let's go to Wally. Now, Wally, here are some quotes from your date with Darlene. Guess which one she really said, Wally. 1, he's too sexy for his bandana. 2, no, I really like a guy who drives an old beat-up VW bus without any seats that smells like incense and breaks down every 5 minutes. Or 3, where did you get this burnout? Wally, what do you think?
Huh?
Which quote describes your date, Wally?
Oh, I don't remember anything about it.
Well, let's just forget it and move on now. Tyrone, which nickname did our lucky ladies give you? 1, micro floppy. 2, mouse driven. Or 3, megabyte.
Okay, just let me write this little macro here in Excel, and I'll give you the answer. And just take a minute, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have a laser printer?
Never mind.
Do I get my disc now?
No. It's time for our Microsoft studs to describe their dream dates now, and then we'd like to see how the ladies like it. Lars, your dream date.
Okay, I'd like to rent Star Trek 4 and 6, have cheese fondue, and then watch Koppel together over at my mom's.
I'd like to take a virtual reality trip to the center of the universe. And after that, catch a dead show in Eugene.
I just want to see a bra up close. A real one.
Okay. Carolyn, based on those dream dates there, which one would you like to go out with again?
I think I'm going to pass.
Darlene?
Gonna pass.
Okay, ladies, you're excused. Each of our female contestants will receive a year's supply of Cheetos, a Windows 3.1 upgrade, and a 1-hour head start out of our studio. Okay, well, Lars, Wally, and Tyrone, you done it. No date again. That means you'll be returning tomorrow for a record-breaking 57th time on Studs from Microsoft. We'll see you then. If anyone calls for Almost Live versus the Workplace, tell them we'll be back in 2 minutes.
Hi, Mr. Stevens.
Oh, hi. How are you?
Yeah, I really like your speech last week. We're trying really hard in our department.
Well, I'm glad to hear it.
Together, we can make it happen. Boy, that's a great slogan, sir.
Thank you. That's what it's all about.
You know, before I came to work for Almost Live, I worked for many years as a Disney character at Disneyland. In fact, if you look in this book, you can see that pig right there. That's me. Now, one of the things I remember is that little kids used to come up when I was in costume and they'd beat me up. Thank God those days are over.
I'll do it.
Well, I guess that just goes to show that any place you work can be hazardous, sometimes even ruthless.
Jenkins, you little weenie, what is this?
The first quarter budget report, Mr. Stone.
No, you know what it is? It's garbage! That's what it is! You are worthless. Now, let me tell you something. You do that report over, you do it right, or don't even think about coming into work tomorrow, all right?
Yes, Mr.
All right! Yes! Now, as for you, Murphy, you little mama's boy, my dog could have done a better job on that Henderson contract than you did. You understand? I'm cutting your pay 20%, mister. And as for the rest of you, you all better work longer and you better work harder or you're all fired. Got it?
Yes, Mr. Stone.
You people make me want to puke.
You don't treat people that way.
I know.
You know, we're adults.
It's ridiculous.
Hey, did you guys hear? Stone's leaving. He got a job in New York.
No, really? God, that is great. It's going to be fantastic around here with him not here.
Unless they hire somebody worse.
Oh, come on. Nothing could be worse than Stone.
That's what we said when Reynolds left, remember? For some reason, this company likes to hire the meanest, most fear-provoking bosses they can find.
I mean, trust me on this, so nothing could be worse than Stone.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
What's the matter?
I've just seen the new boss.
What? Oh, no. Worse than Stone?
How much worse?
Box of snakes.
Say Bob? Bob who?
No, not Bob. Box. A box of snakes.
Wait. I'm not following you here. What are you saying?
I mean, the new boss is a box of snakes.
Ted, the boss, wants to see you right away.
I cannot put up with Box of Snakes much longer. The stress is just killing me.
I hear they hired shards of broken glass to run accounting.
Yeah, and marketing's new boss is a female rhino protecting its young.
Ooh, that's rough. I've even been thinking about getting a job someplace else.
Hey, did you hear? A box of snakes just got a job in L.A.
Yo, that's great.
Right, unless they hire somebody worse.
Oh, that's impossible. I mean, they'd have to get...
Ladies and gentlemen, meet your new boss.
Hi, everybody. I think we're going to have a lot of fun working together. But before we get started, have you heard the good news about Amway?
Almost Live versus the Workplace is going to go hang out at the water cooler for a couple of minutes. But we'll be right back.
Sue, have you met Carol from personnel?
Oh, yeah. That was a great seminar you gave last week.
Thank you. It's important for the employees to know how much the company appreciates them.
Oh, I agree 100% with Carol.
Say, has anyone seen Bob?
Smith?
Yeah, I gotta ask him about the Wells account.
I just saw him down at the Salt Lick.
Oh, great.
I thought Craig was playing well, but the defense just was not there for him.
Yeah. Hey, Bob, nice job on the McKenzie merger.
Thanks, John. Hey, you're looking a little tired this morning.
Oh, yeah, it usually takes me 2 or 3 licks to get going.
I know what you mean. I'm not myself till I've had my lick in the morning. Bob, do you have time to go over the Bradson portfolio with me?
Yeah, I should. I've got a 9:30 to get to, but like 11 maybe?
11's great.
Okay.
Hey, guys. Really good lick today.
Yeah, I think it's European.
I can tell.
Hey, guys, how's the lick today?
Great. Really good.
Great.
Yeah.
Really
I gotta get going. 11 o'clock?
Great.
See ya.
What do you think, Italian?
Fresh, too.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a classically trained actor. That means I worked in a restaurant. It was a nice restaurant, very much like this one. We didn't even have menus. We'd bring a tray of the various cuts of meat and seafood, and we'd set it on the edge of the table. I hated it. On lobster night, I had to bring out a live lobster. It was agony watching this poor little guy. His eyes would roll around. You could almost hear him saying, "Pick the veal, pick the veal." I got out of the restaurant business, and I went to work for a company. But nothing could have prepared me for what really goes on in the boardroom.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This meeting is now called to order. Now, I know what we're all most concerned about are these first quarter sales figures. Now, I suppose you'd all like to stay after this meeting this afternoon until I find out who threw that spitwad? I didn't think so. All right, John, you're the secretary. Why don't you read the minutes of last week's meeting?
It doesn't.
John, the minutes?
My dog ate him.
Your dog ate them.
Yeah.
Do you think you can manage to take some minutes this week and keep them out of your dog's mouth?
No, I'm sorry. No.
Fine, that would be wonderful. Pat, would you like to share with all of us what you're working on over there?
No, I don't want to share.
I think that we'd all like to see it, wouldn't we? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is a little face that's got eyes.
Face with eyes that move. Do you think that's going to help these first quarter sales figures at all? A little face with eyes that move?
Not with eyes that move, no.
Pat, I'd like to have you put your head down on the desk and take a little time out. Now, what we've decided to do in response to these weak first quarter sales figures is form up 2 new committees.
Me.
All right, fine, Andrea, you can head up the finance committee.
No.
Okay, Pat, you can head up the litigation committee.
Okay.
All right, let's line up.
Second captain, first pick. I pick John. John.
Jim.
Get James. All right. Easy.
Cooties, pray for cooties.
Bill, could I talk to you over here for a minute?
And I think, as you could tell by the reaction of your peers, that your performance is just not really up to. We've been talking I'm not. You're the cheater. And we've been talking about a raise. I just don't think it's justified.
I think I've met every performance objective. I think I've met every schedule. I think I'm qualified.
I don't think so, Bill. A little overconfident there. I think we all know that your performance has not been as effective as it should be. Now, get back to work there and try to shake that.
You move your elbow. You can't do that.
I got you. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Fun's fun, but let's get serious, all right? Get back to your chairs. Now, this is a multi-million-dollar corporation. We had a little fun this afternoon. We've had a good time. But let's get serious. As you know, this afternoon, we're supposed to make one very important decision. Of course, I'm talking about the merger with the Amcor Corporation. John, would you give me a color? Blue. B-L-U-E. How about a number, Jim?
4.
4. We merge. All right, good work. Let's take a break.
We have to take an important call right now, but following that, Almost Live versus the Workplace will be right back.
Oh, Murphy, come in. Come in. Sit down.
Yes, Mr. Haynes?
Murphy, you're fired.
I'm fired?
Boy, that really hits home for me, because before I came to King TV, I used to work here at the Tower Building at KVI Radio until one day they asked me to please leave. So then I came over here and worked at the Seattle Times for a few years until they asked me if I might please go. But now I'm here at King TV, and I think I'm here to stay.
Bob, I gotta see you in my office right away.
But I have to tell them about Billy Quan coming on.
Yeah, they'll figure it out. This really can't wait.
It's time for Mind Your Manners with Billy Quan. Today's episode, Office of Death. Well, this doesn't seem to be writing. This pen is useless. Find another. Ah, yes. Yes, this should work very well. I'll just keep it.
What do you mean, keep it? That pen does not belong to you. You must return it.
Sure, I'll return the pen, and while I'm at it, take these.
Ooh. Ooh.
Where is he? Where is he? What?
Steady now. Taking aim.
Huh?
To the right. Back. Lock on.
Whoa! Oh, so you want to play tough, huh? Well, take this. All right, Lucky, try some kickboxing.
Oh, want to dance, huh? Let's do the twist. Remember, boys and girls, stealing is a habit you should break, or Billy will make an example of you again and again and again.
Remember, kids, be like Billy. Behave yourself.
Well, that's just about all the time we have here for Almost Live versus the Workplace. And I thought we'd end the show right here in my own office
because that way we didn't have to call ahead to get permission to tape, which is good. And I want to end the show by talking to those of you who are just preparing to enter the workforce for the first time, because when I was in your shoes, my father gave me 3 pieces of advice, which I have found to be invaluable, and I want to pass them on to you now. Number 1, try not to work for a boss who has carved things into his own forehead. Number 2, most bigger companies will never miss 1 typewriter, but 2 is pushing it. And number 3, don't eat that thistly part of the artichoke unless you want to cough a lot. Well, that's what my father told me. I hope you'll be able to put it to as good as use as I did. So if you'll excuse me, I got to go now because I got a lot of paperwork to catch up on, but we'll see you.